Gotcha. Party's over. Nice try. Hey, I've got eyes on the front of my head. It's funny to say party's over when it's neither a party nor the end of anything, right? It's kind of like maybe going to a funeral and going, let the games begin. My grandpa, it's always, when you think of a funeral, it's always the grandfather, isn't it? Maybe that's just me, but hi, everybody. Welcome back. I assume you've been here before. Hey, making an ass out of you and me, huh? Or making an as out of sue me, or making an A out of you, me, but everybody, welcome back to the Hole in the Pin Cap. I'm Ryer Cameraman, comedian, user of notebooks, owner of a candle. I just got a new candle from Yankee Candles. I say new candle, but it's really my only candle at the moment. Before that I bought what I thought was a candle off of Amazon, and it was just a scented, I don't even know how you would describe it, but it's like a gel that catches, I guess it says it traps odors, like some sort of mousetrap, or some sort of, what else traps this? Some sort of Venus fly situation, or some sort of mental trap. What would a mental trap be? Maybe when you get someone to admit something they don't want to admit by laying out graham crackers of confusion with, right? You've got to breathe at intervals. I don't know why I'm anxious. I'm not anxious. Speak it into reality. I'm a treehouse. Too far. I've got pegs. I've got ropes. Climb up and get some. I like the idea of saying climb up and get some, and climbing up physically as I say it. Climb up and get some. But you notice that I don't climb smoothly. I climb because if you were climbing pegs or if you were climbing a rope, it would be rigid. It would be rough. The climb. It's almost like every step, every inch you climb, every inch you gain is rough. It's like, I used to rock climb as a kid. There was this rock climbing wall we would go to, and I was very bad at it. Of course. I'm kind of hot in here. I should have asked about the fan, but I forgot to. And, maybe it's good. Maybe it's kind of like a lot of people enjoy saunas. So maybe I think it's good for your sinuses. It's nobody's fault. I should have asked about maybe getting a fan, but I don't want it to be too loud. But yeah, I used to rock climb. I was very bad at it. But I loved that they had these little cut up rubber pieces on the ground that they used as kind of like the landing pit, just so you wouldn't. It was kind of like, imagine wood chips but out of rubber. Imagine that. God, what a world that would be. Everybody, I believe this is episode 15, I believe, or 14. Possibly one of those, 14 or 15. Thank you so much for coming back. It's been a while. Sorry about that. I don't know. I've been going through a lot, kind of army crawling through a tunnel of reality, in a sense, experiencing things. I think trying to grasp, maybe more self-acceptance, in a sense. This is probably going to be a very inconsistent podcast. Not just this episode, but kind of all of them, I think. Just kind of throwing them out at odd strange intervals, strange beats, right? Like maybe you would think a song would have a certain tempo, or how some poems have patterns, right? Like an A, B, but this would be like maybe an A, B, F, A, B, C. Maybe it's really not a pattern because there's no repetition. There's no repetition. Yeah, I've been gone for a while. Thank you for waiting. I don't know if you've been waiting there, but or really even where there is, but it's been good. I've been good. I've been working a lot. I work as a door guy, which is fun. It's a good time. I've been working maybe too much even. I should probably, I don't know. So I think I've been finding a lot of comfort in work recently, and like staying busy. I think there's value in that, and just kind of doing things like, I don't know if you guys feel, sometimes you do things that are simple in order to feel like you're doing something that's not simple, maybe, is what I'm doing. Oh, did you want to say hi? It's like the Gatorade water. Getting into that, I imagine, it's probably some sick joke, right? Somebody's just going to a water fountain and putting this under and going, we're going to get them. And you did. This could literally be, I mean, it could be lemonade, something not even water, really. It could not even be a liquid, and I'm just drinking it, having a grand old time. You gotta stay hydrated. But what were we talking about? Well, yeah, simple. Yeah, doing small things, doing chores, things like that, in order to feel like you're accomplishing something greater. I've been really getting into cleaning recently, and I don't know. I'm historically pretty messy in my own spaces, right? Like in a place that I don't expect other people to come, I will kind of destroy it, right? Like my bedroom, my car, which has been a problem because people will ask for rides, and then I either have to be rude, be like, no, sorry, I value you less than a bunch of random shoes that I have in that seat, I guess. Or I have to just seem like a really unqualified Uber driver. Just have them sit in the back seat because there's a bunch of empty water bottles and also some not empty water bottles and that I just forgot about or got buried or, Oh, now that we're on the topic of cars, my tire, what you say got blown out? Is that sounds aggressive. I don't know if that's even the right word for that, but deflated. I think I don't know. I think I hit a nail or something. But my tire got messed up, and then there's a timer on the thing. What if I got a flat tire a few weeks, maybe like a week and a half ago or so, but and then I was very nervous and I noticed that the tire was flat because it was making sounds, and typically tires don't seem to do that. They will, but not in that, like a it just didn't seem to be doing all right, really, but and so then I pulled over to the closest location, which happened to be a Denny's, and it was a scary, there were a bunch of raccoons in the parking lot, and they were probably the largest raccoons I've ever seen. And I don't know if it looked like maybe a family of raccoons. They were really big. And so I waited for them to kind of evacuate before getting out of the car. But I got out of the car, looked at the tire. Oh no, it is flat. Or maybe that's good, because if it wasn't flat, what would that... Something much deeper has gone wrong, and that's an issue too. But and then I went into my work group chat. I love my coworkers, so great. They're all so kind, so wonderful. And I messaged, I said, hey, emergency. Shot a flare gun. No, I said, hey, does anybody know anybody close to this Denny's? And I didn't say the location. I said, this Denny's. And everybody said, what? No, I said the location. Anybody close and know how to change a tire? I should know how to change a tire. I've watched it several times, but I've just not retained any of the information. Retain. I have not again tained. Yeah, I don't know. I was also kind of scared too, because it was like a bit of a sketchy area. I mean, in a way, it was. I get nervous. You know, I'm not big. I'm not intimidating. I'm easy to take advantage of. I was out, this happened, I don't know if maybe this is bad, but I was out looking at the tire and I had my flashlight on. And so I think people could kind of deduce what was happening. And someone drove by and they were in the car. It was these two women, and maybe this is an assumption, but they seem to be lesbians. And that's great. Hey, been there, done that. Got a lot of the t-shirts. They're kind of all just kind of one colored Goodfellow t-shirts from Target. Have a bunch of those. I keep buying them in bulk because I keep ruining my t-shirts because I get bleach on them from work, and everybody's confused because there's no part of my job jurisdiction that requires the use of bleach. So nobody understands what's happening, and I get it. I mean, no, I think it's whenever I clean the bathrooms, the toilet bowl cleaner, I'm pretty sure there's bleach. I'd imagine there's bleach in that. So, God, I love cleaning the bathrooms. I'm just so good at it, I think, is the thing. But yeah, the lesbians drove by, and one of them was like, "Hey, you got a flat tire?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Oh." Then she said, "Oh, do you have a jack?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, you have a donut?" It's funny if I didn't know what those words had meant, like if I didn't know she was talking about car terminology. And I was like, "Yeah." And she shows up, and I just have a Jack's, and or a guy named Jack, and I have an actual donut. And I said, I answered your questions. Is this not what you meant? You didn't mean this? That's always an option. Whenever you talk to people, recognize that what you're saying, maybe they don't understand what you're saying at all. I have that tendency to kind of not understand what people are saying, but then agree with them. For what reason? Maybe to feel understood. Not to feel. I mean, for them, I want them to feel understood. Yeah, that's always been a problem, kind of. But I had an issue with that recently when my roommate a few months ago. My roommate that doesn't live there anymore. She moved out recently, but she had taken her name off the. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast. Everybody always calls it a pod. Do people call it a cast? Like a casting list and casting call. Casting call for the part. Of Ryer. I could play Ryer. What? Why? What makes you qualified? I am Ryer. Okay, well, by God, get your ass in there. And what were we talking about? She took her name off of some of the utilities, and I was supposed to put my name on the utilities. And she had sent a message saying, essentially, what I had thought it meant was I'm going to have to do it on like the 15th of August. Apparently it meant I'm going to have to do it on the 1st. She meant like you're going to have to transfer your name by the 1st of August or they're going to cut off the utilities. That's a problem. I didn't realize that's what it meant. I just kind of was like, I guess I'll figure, or I maybe thought I'd get a letter or something that was like, hey, you've got 180 days before the power turns off. We're going to send you a letter every day reminding you. I was hoping that's what was going to happen. No, turns out they just shut everything off. So yeah, my roommate was kind of upset because I didn't ask any questions. I just thumbs it up. Yeah. Sounds good. What sounds good, right? I have no idea what sounds good, but something does. Yeah, no, I feel like I have a tendency to agree. I have a tendency to apologize when I've done nothing wrong. Or even when other people have wronged me, I just will apologize to kind of get it over with. I'll agree to get it over with. So that's maybe a character flaw of mine. But, yeah, the power, well, we've gone in a few different directions here so far, but yes, quite a lot has been. Oh, the changing the tire. Yeah, she came over, and I got very nervous because I don't know this person. It's very late. I don't know what time it was. Close to 1, maybe around 1, maybe midnight, closer to midnight. And she was like, hey, I got you. And then I, was opening up my trunk and I had the realization, okay, there's nobody else really in this parking lot. It's pitch black. It's just because the other girl had gone inside. So it was just this one, just one of the lesbian pair, one side of that, that feminine or not that shoe made for men but worn by women. It's crazy to say. She came out and I had this realization while she was in she opened the trunk. I was like, well, I'm supplying her with metal tools and I don't know her and I'm kind of scared. So I was like, hey, my friend's on the way, which was not true at that point. But I was scared. It's like, hey, my friend's on the way. Thank you so much, but I think he's gonna help me out. I don't want you to miss. I don't want to keep you waiting or anything. And she was like, no, I'll just get it started. Like I'll get it started for you. And it's like, oh, okay, well. My friend is coming though, and she was like, well, I just like to help people. So I think I got scared unnecessarily. I really don't think it was as life-threatening as I thought. I think this was just a kind person. But I got really scared and then I locked myself in the car. I mean, I did. I said, thank you so much. And I was like, yeah, and then I did end up saying, it's not you. I know you're probably a really nice person. I just don't know you. Just maybe, and sometimes I just don't know what to say. I feel like I express an emotion and people don't get it because I'm not explaining it well. But I really don't want to hurt their feelings. But it is like because it would be bad if I said, you're a stranger and I'm scared that you're going to kill me. That's essentially what I'm terrified. I don't know you. And I'm afraid that you're going to ask me to help take off the tire or something. And then smash me over the head with the crowbar, with the bar, crowbar, I think is what it's called. Now, you're probably not going to do that, but how do I know? I don't want to die that way. I mean, I don't want to die in really any way right now, but I don't want to, or ever, Yeah, that just seems like a bad way to go. In a Denny's parking lot. Not even having eaten Denny's. Just laying under a car and probably being eaten by a family of large raccoons. So yeah, I felt kind of bad about that. And then you got to speak. I mean, I don't know. I've been trying to speak up for myself recently, getting more confident. I think it's confusing. I'm not good at it. You know, it's interesting to speak up for yourself when you're really kind of not incapable, but I don't know. This is an example too. I was at work yesterday, and someone walked in, and they walked right by me, and usually, like, when there's someone she walked right by, and I was like, "Hey, are you here for the show?" She didn't say anything, like, kept walking. I was like, "Hey, can I help you?" And she, like, said something about, like, she's like, "Oh, a meeting or something." I, just went by really fast. Like, okay. And then I saw one of my managers look over to me, and it was like, I don't know. She just kind of ignored me and walked by. And then when she came out later, my manager was talking to her and then pointed over to me. It was like, oh no, this might not be great. And then she came over and was like, hey, if I didn't see you, so sorry. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to build relationships if you treat people badly. Which is wild. That's a wild thing to say. It was kind of, I don't know. I don't want to be ignored by people, because I think that happens a lot because I'm quiet and odd. And I don't know. Recently, I've been getting to the point where I'm ready to stand up for myself. I just don't know how to do it yet. Like a baby. Like a baby that I suppose even, is ready to stand up but doesn't know how to do it. So they start to kind of make attempts at it. They start to grab at things and pull their body up, and it's, it just looks very strange, and I'm ready. I think the gender stuff has kind of pushed that to the forefront. Transitioning has made me more confident. I guess have to be more confident in a sense, because I have to. I think I've always had gender dysphoria, but I have in the past accepted that I'm just not going to be, I'm not going to be perceived the way that I perceive myself, and that's what it is. And now I think I want to try. I mean, I want to be perceived the way that I see myself. So we're going to give it a go, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, standing up for that too. And I mean, most people are really cool about it. But then there's people that don't understand it too, of course, which is a part of it. But I don't know. I would never force anyone to call me something they don't want to call me, but it does mean something, If you know that I want this, if I want to be called he or whatever, that means something to me. And I get if you don't understand it, you don't understand, or if you haven't experienced it, I get it's so hard to understand. It makes no sense, So I get that, but if you know that I want that, and I know you know that, and then you choose not to, I mean, that means something. I'm not gonna say, I don't necessarily have to say anything. But it just, maybe makes me feel bad. I won't force you to call me, but it maybe, it makes me feel bad. I don't know. I think that's just part of it, though. It's okay to let people express how they feel about certain things. But that just will maybe change the way that I don't know, maybe change our friendship slightly or something. I don't know. I'm standing up for my, I'm learning to be more confident, I think, which is good and bad. It's scary and, building just kind of building a cardboard dunk tank. And it, maybe I give it a try, pour a bunch of water in it, and then all the water soaks out, and I go, God, something's wrong. And so then I try it out. I make one out of hay, make one out of styrofoam. It's kind of like the Three Little Pigs, but with a dunk tank. And it's like I'm the Three Little Pigs kind of, and I keep running from one dunk tank to another, and then I get to the final dunk tank, and it's made out of plastic or metal or something like that. And I get in, and then I wonder if there should be a wolf in this version too. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I think the idea of maybe a cardboard dunk tank would be kind of fun. But I don't know. I've been what have I been up to? I'm thinking about maybe visiting New York soon. That'll be fun. I want to see what New York's like, or just kind of travel in general. I think traveling's so valuable for comics and for anyone, just to kind of get your mind thinking in a different way. That's why I've always, so many people live in the same place for so long, and I know it's not because they want to, or more so because like financial situations, or maybe it is because they want to, or just not knowing that they can leave. But yeah, I want to travel more. I need to go. I think I'm going to go back to Wisconsin soon. My mom lives. I want to get a shoulder I need a clavicle surgery. I think that might be a good place to do it. Can recover. My shoulder pops out of socket a lot. It happened recently, a few weeks ago. I was in my room at the house, and I moved into the small room recently. We have 3 rooms in the house. There's a big, a small, and then there's one with a bathroom. And I decided to move out of the big one because I don't really need that much space. And I like to walk around a lot, but I don't know. I get anxious at night a lot, and I think the big room, I get kind of scared in there because there's so much extra room. Like, you don't even know there's so much space for like scary things. There could be like a pumpkin crying or something. That would be scary. Or like a vampire tripping over something, or maybe like what else is scary? Maybe like a doctor drenched in blood that's like forgot somebody's name or something. But yeah, there's a big room is scary because there's so much room for bad things to happen, I think. But I like small spaces. I like crevices, crannies, nooks. I like that space in between like 2 incompatible kitchen appliances. Like a dishwasher, and maybe your dishwasher is next to your fridge. And yeah, but they're not the same kind, and so there's like this kind of gap that maybe like a cat could fit into. But only when the cat's kind of small, so then when the cat gets a little bit bigger, it can't get out. Like it goes in like it always does, and it's unaware of its new situation. So when it tries to get out, it just gets stuck, and then you hear meowing, and you look, and you're like, oh my God, it's furry. Do you think anybody would name their cat furry? I mean, not obviously no sexual connotation. It's a cat, obviously. But you'd be like, Mom, furry's stuck. Furry's stuck. So yeah, maybe that would happen, but I forget what that analogy was kind of in reference to, but oh yeah, I was all the room for scary things. Yeah, nooks, crannies, crevices. Love a good small space. I think it I got rid of my mattress too because I knew I was going into the smaller room, and they didn't pick it up right away. The trash man, garbage man, trash guys is that's kind of a crazy way. That's maybe not a good thing to call them. It's weird to think you change one word and it kind of becomes trash guys. Like garbage man, that's great. I think that's what they're called, or like lunch ladies. Like if you call them lunch girls, that's kind of weird. Food ladies, yeah, meal ladies, meal women, lunch women is, yeah, lunch women would be kind of weird. Lunch women. It almost feels like you're maybe gonna eat them or something. That would be scary. What else? Paper boy. Maybe if you go like paper kid. Feels like maybe you made a kid out of paper. There's a siren that I'm hearing behind me. Yeah, somebody's pretty busy. I know I probably should. I know you probably can't hear it through the microphone, but I have to acknowledge it. I don't know why. I think I need. It's almost like if there was like a giant caterpillar that walked in here right now, I'd feel the need to go, oh, there's a giant. Even if I wasn't scared, even if it was normal, even if giant caterpillars routinely walked in here, I'd have to say, so does anyone else see that? Or I'd have to just kind of warn you, hey, I might be my eyes might be darting. That's because there's a giant insect. And I don't like that. And I mean, I'm sorry that I'm distracted. I would have to tell you that. I would feel the need to tell you that. But yeah, no, I got rid of the mattress. They ended up picking it up. I think the garbage the garbage men are people. It's always funny, you'll hear people say that. They'll be like, it's not garbage men, it's garbage people, like trying to include women. Or not male men, it's male people. I feel like that. I don't know if anyone says that. But you never hear it, done wider than that. It's never like, it's male beings, or like kind of like saying it's more than just men and women. It's like also dogs that are doing it or something. Like police, policeman, policewoman. It's like just police people. Nobody would say police people. They would just say police. But I guess that also includes like dogs, and I guess there's maybe police cats somewhere. And yeah, is that a thing? Do they bring police cats by? Maybe the dogs do the drugs and the cats do like the alcohol or something. Like you would think a human could smell alcohol, but it's in like really small amounts. Maybe the cat would come out, and kind of that would be their job. I don't know if cats have a great sense of smell, though. I think they seem to be more visual or tactile. Maybe you have a cat come by and just kind of feel somebody. You have a cat just put their hand. You think blind people probably have really good sense of feel, probably a really heightened sense of feel, right? Maybe they put their hand onto somebody and they can kind of feel if they've had alcohol or something. I'm not, is that rude? I don't mean to say, I can't imagine it's if they've had alcohol, but I think I'm just posing that as, wouldn't that be cool? That might be interesting. Like if every cop kind of brought a blind person around, and they're just kind of feeling things for, to see what's going on, and like if maybe a crime's been here or something. Kind of like when you can feel like a wheel, like a tire, to know if a car's been driven recently. Maybe there's something deeper than that. I don't know, but But yeah, I got rid of the mattress, and what I've been doing is I've been using these two mattress toppers that I lay on top of each other. They're foldable. I got them off Amazon. And I think they're each like 3 inches or something. I've been laying them on top of each other, and I thought it would be thicker than it is because it's pretty uncomfortable. But I used to, when I lived in Chicago, for a while, I slept on one of them, and I don't remember it being uncomfortable at all. Maybe I'm just getting older, as opposed to younger or neutral, and maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm just aging, and it's kind of scary. My hair is kind of getting spikier, like maybe a porcupine or a pine cone. I suppose a pine cone is the porcupine is to pine cone as Ryer is to porcupine. But yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable a little bit. The room is nice, but it's got a lot of structural issues. The door came off its hinges, not in a mental way, like as much as like an actual structural issue. So that's been unfortunate. But what's nice about your door coming off its hinges is you can just kind of move it. The door came off the hinges of the closet, not of the actual room. That would be unfortunate. You have no privacy, but it's kind of like when maybe the parent of a teenager takes the door off, like, so that the kids aren't like, they're not like making out with their boyfriend or something, but it's just like the world telling me, just kind of a coincidental thing, and the world's going, we're doing this for your own good, and I'm just sitting in there. I don't have a girlfriend, or I don't have a boyfriend either, but maybe I'm just sitting in there with the vitamin water or like a bag of Skittles or something, and I'm going, God, everybody sees me. I can't eat these right now. And it's what it is, Ryan. Everybody's always watching. Are you guys always watching? People always say that, oh, they're always watching. Why don't they say like, oh, they're always listening? It's a little more scary, I think. I mean, being watched is scary. I think I'm thinking about like angels, Nobody says, oh, they're always touching. Like, the angels aren't just like always touching you. That would be freaky. Or they're always, they're always smelling you. That's weird too, but the door, what's nice about your door coming off of its hinges is that you can move it to any part of your room, and then it kind of becomes a new door. Like, you wouldn't want to open, but if you just move the door over there, it does look like there is a room, and you can kind of you can pretend. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's the room. That's like the ping pong room or something. You could make up a room that would never be a room, You could say like, oh, that's the bath. That's the water park. Like, what? You have a water park? Yeah, I do. Sorry. Oh, you don't? Yeah, you could do it like that. You could say, you don't have a water park? And then they say, oh, where's the door to your closet? I have a water park. Why are you asking me these crazy questions? When you have a water park, you don't get a door to you. Just kind of being like that, but yeah. Oh yeah, I brought up the room because my shoulder dislocated a few weeks ago, and it's happened many times. I have an ongoing issue. I gotta go get a surgery. It scares me a little bit, but yeah, and shoulder dislocated. I woke up. I was laying on my stomach, and it was kind of nice. It was like probably one of the least uncomfortable positions for that, I feel like. So I woke up, and I was like, oh, it's at a socket. Oh no. But this is not as uncomfortable as it usually is because I can kind of rest on one side. And so I started like looking on my phone because I couldn't really use this. I could like type with one hand, and I was like, I was looking up how to relocate. Is that where you say it? How to put your shoulder back in place. How to relocate your shoulder is also funny. It's like relocating, like moving. You get get your shoulder to pack its bags. How to pack its bags. Kind of finding a new rental property or something. But I was looking it up, and surprisingly, there were no videos on how to pop your shoulder back in socket. I mean, I guess I kind of get why. Like, nobody with a shoulder out of socket is maybe making it. I think typically people aren't able to look up YouTube videos for that as it's happening. I think it's because it's very painful, and it usually, I think for most people, doesn't stay out of socket as long as I have experienced. This one, I think, was close to an hour, maybe like 45 minutes. Last one, I had one at my my other job one time that was like close. Yeah, it was like 45 minutes. It was so bad. So I was looking up how to pop it back in socket, and I wasn't getting any good information. So then I called a few people. I called my friend Maddie Stew, another comedian, works with me. And I was like, hey, do you know how to pop shoulders back in socket? And he was like, no. It was kind of weird. It's just a strange thing to assume that somebody knows how to do that. But the way he looked, he's like a veteran, muscular. He has just the presence of somebody that would know how to relocate bones. He's like, no, I don't. And then I was like, oh, okay, no worries. And then I moved a little bit, and it, like, whenever you move and your shoulders out of socket, I feel like I don't know if the bones rub or what it is, but it's so painful. And so I just like, which is going to be fun to hear on the other side of a phone call. But so he's like, oh my God, what can I help you with? I was like, I don't know. I'm all right. I'll call you back. And then I thought it had gone back in place. So I sat up, and it had not gone back in place. So then I was just in a much more uncomfortable position. And I was still on the phone with Maddie. And I was like, hey, can you call 911? Oh, I forgot to say, I did call, before I called Maddie, I called 911. And I just kind of asked, this is maybe strange, but this is maybe odd. But I asked the lady on the phone, I said, hey, do you have any advice? Because whenever you call 911, they go, 911, do you need police, fire, or EMS? And I was like, I don't think any, I just want advice. And they're like, oh, where's your address? No, I don't want anyone to come. And they made me get my address. And I went all through these things, and then I got to the lady who I guess was a paramedic, and I said, hey, I don't want you to come. I just want to know, can you tell me how to pop my shoulder back in socket? And she said, absolutely not. I would be held liable if you did it incorrectly. So I cannot give you any advice on that. I think you should go to the hospital. I said, no, I didn't say that, but I said, okay. And I was like, I'm probably going to have my friend drive me in, which wasn't true at that point. Later on, I did end up, paramedics came because it wouldn't go back in socket. And you can't that's not something you can just leave out. I mean, it's not, what can you leave out? Yeah, it's not like a bag of chips, which you also shouldn't leave out because they get stale. But, some things you can't, like a burrito, you could maybe leave out for longer than you'd think, or a blanket you could leave out. Like you could just leave it on the couch or something, but just leave it on the couch. And yeah, but I asked her for advice. She said no. All right. No, guess I understand guess we're not friends. Yeah, and then the paramedics came, and the guy was really nice. He saw my unicycle, and he made like a joke about it. He's like, oh, so it was something about like, oh, you can unicycle? I don't know if it was a joke or if it was just like a comment Then I was like, yeah, but I probably shouldn't right now. Would you ever try to make a joke when you're in a bad situation, like in a kind of emergency situation? Try to make a joke, and then, uh, everybody kind of laughs, but they're also like, that was weird. You didn't have to be funny. It was, um, but yeah, eventually we got into the car. My roommate, my roommate was going to drive me there, and it popped back into socket, which is good. Like so yeah, I need to go get a surgery soon. So hopefully that happens so that it stops popping back out. And eventually, once it's healed, I'd love to start like jujitsu or something again. I mean, I didn't really do much. I did a little bit of jujitsu, but not much. I wonder if there's anything to close on. We've hit a fun. Oh, I've been opening a lot of things with my teeth recently. Chips, pudding, doors, mines. Just kind of anything I can get. These things on. Anything in my reach. You ever see like those perforated tear strips on like fruit snacks or something, and it'll say tear here? I go, oh, okay. Make me. Really standing up for myself, really becoming my own liar. Oh, you're going to tell me what to do with my mouth. My mouth, I don't know if there's really an angle for that, Rye. Yeah, there is an angle. It's rigid from my teeth. I think I just like to do things incorrectly sometimes. Like maybe I'll get a Capri Sun and I'll just open up one side. And so it's like, it kind of just looks like a canoe. And then I'm just, I get the straw and I, maybe tape it to the side or something. And then I cut a little triangle out of maybe construction paper or out of like junk mail or something. And then I tape it on and it looks like a little flag. And then I get a Jolly Rancher or something and I pretend that it's a little person, a little sailor. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. This was a wonderful, very fun episode. I hope. I don't know. Let me know. This was the Hole in the Pen Cap, episode 15. Have a great day. Bye.